Tom Homan, Trump's new border czar, finally reveals what blue city is going to be first when it comes to mass deportations of illegal immigrants. You guys have got to check this out.
He's been the only Democrat that's willing to work with this administration as a mayor. Chicago resisting, L.A. resisting, and it looks like Tom Homan has accepted the invitation from Mayor Adams to have a meeting today to talk about what they're going to do once he takes office.
Right. We're not asking for a lot.
No.
We're asking for access to criminals.
That's right.
If the detainers honored, give ICE a chance. By the way, I thought it was a great, Robert Holden, a Democrat from Queens, said if you want to show that, Mayor Adams, talk is great, but if you want to show that you're sincere, set up the ICE office at Rikers again. Because they closed it down because they don't want to let.
He's also considering, Eric Adams is also considering getting rid of the sanctuary city status.
That's right. So Tom Homan pictured right there is going to be meeting with the mayor of New York. It's interesting. On Monday night, Tom Homan was at an event and he revealed, we know that the deportation plan, on a wide scale, you know what American city they're going to start in? They're going to start in Chicago. He was a guest Monday night at a holiday party for Law and Order PAC. This is one of the quotes, according to CBS in Chicago. Tom Homan said, Chicago's in trouble because your mayor sucks and your governor sucks. And so he said it's going to start in Chicago right after the inauguration. And Homan asked the Mayor Johnson, and Governor Pritzker to come to the table and help with the biggest deportation in history. And here's the other quote. He said, if your mayor doesn't want to help, he can step aside. There's Johnson right there. But if he impedes us, Tom Homan said, if he knowingly harbors or conceals an illegal alien, I will prosecute him. So that's new. Now Tom Homan is suggesting if these people in the sanctuary city do impede the federal government, he's going to press charges.
If somebody is an illegal immigrant, they are a criminal by definition, and it is the mayor and the governor's job to protect their own constituents. Who are they looking out for? If not for the Chicago residents and taxpayers of that city. They're telling themselves that they're doing the humanitarian thing, but in reality, all that you're doing is making it more expensive to live in Chicago, as well as make it increasingly more dangerous.
A federal statute, and that's all they're saying right now, is that when we come to pick them up, they're already in custody, right, or they're already in a certain community. The residents are upset. Just let us get out of the way.
Proof from the residents themselves. Listen to them speaking out against their mayor. Watch.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, you took an oath to uphold the Constitution. Or when you took an oath, was it only intended to fight for the 10th and 14th Amendments regarding illegal aliens?
We don't want illegals in our community. We don't want migrants terrorizing our own people. And to have y'all sit up here and say, we have to accept $70 million being given to them when you got black people who are already struggling and need help, it is a disgrace.
All people. And that, by the way, we could have played 12 of these.
Yeah. No.
So the people agree with Tom.
Well, and you could see in that wide shot, you could see that some people were wearing, you could see red shirts. You know what the red shirt said? Chicago flips red. So essentially, he's getting in. Let me just finish this up. So essentially, those people who are showing up are suggesting, okay, you don't listen to me. Just remember, politics have consequences, and we could flip this town red, which would be rare.
I'm so glad this is their message, finally, because you've been to Chicago how many times?
I mean,
Gianna Caldwell's brother was killed there, and it's very dangerous already. The money needs to go to the residents. It doesn't need to go to the illegals.
Well, Ainsley, and when I was there a few months ago, they're showing this now. We're showing this now, but we covered this leading up to the election.
Yeah.
They have shut down schools of kids in the community. They said they didn't have any money for it. And then they reopened them.
To shut them down?
Well, they shut them down because the city said, here's the airport. They said, we don't have any money to fund this school or this community center. But then they reopened them, found the money magically for the illegals there. Yeah. Y'all remember when I was in there as well? I was outside of one of the holding facilities. There's drug bags all outside of the place where they clearly have some type of illegal substance there. And the residents have been crying out for help for a long time, and the mayor is still giving a backhand.
I know. Why is the mayor doing that? He's not listening to the people.
But you know what's interesting is that the people he thinks he's representing, he is he doesn't understand. He's going by an old playbook. He thinks that if I go to the bat for inner city America or for minorities in my city, I'm going to make the hard decision against the law enforcement. But law enforcement and his people actually agree he's the impediment.
Yes.
So is the Denver mayor the impediment.
Yeah.
Denver has fallen apart, crushing on its own weight. Per capita, more illegals, more immigrants than even New York City. And all this mayor cares about, I'm going to fight for my people. Do you understand that your people are asking you to get out of the way?
And he once agreed.
Yeah.
He told us in an interview that they're at their breaking point.
Right.
Magically, when Donald Trump is elected, then he turns back to the same old thing.
Yeah.
So you can't just resist because it's Trump.
And the thing is, this has nothing to do with race whatsoever. All it has to do with is security in your community. You want to feel safe in your community. You want to be able to walk down the street without having to constantly look over your shoulder. And if we just blindly allow thousands of people into our community, not knowing who the heck they could be, a lot of these people coming into our country are MS-13 gang members. There are countries out there are emptying their jail cells and allowing people to just walk through the Mexican southern border. We want to know who's in our community, and we want to keep it safe. That's not a radical thing to ask for. This is common sense stuff.
Look, you're spending too much money on the migrants. And you know what? You know what I think the people of Chicago would like? A Department of Government Efficiency.
How long is
they
he-
need a Doge in
Do
Chicago.
you all know how long he's in office?
Well, he just
I know
got
he's
there.
like a
got 3
year
more
ago?
years left. He's like a year, 2.5 years, I would say. I'd say also they are in the
They
red.
got to get it right. They
They're
got
in
to
the
get
red.
it right in Chicago.
right thing.
They continue to elect these individuals that,
And that's
that
why
aren't
Tom-
common sense.
And that's why Tom Homan is starting in Chicago.
The crazy
Good.
thing is he was second, and they had the runoff, and he ends up winning because he
But
consolidated with the left
Chicago
wingers.
reminds me of New York. Remember, they were great cities, great cities. I still love New York. Y'all know I love New York, but it's different.
Chicago's beautiful.
Chicago was a clean mini New York. I used to always say I
Architecturally.
love to go visit my college friends in Chicago. But now we're hearing all these stories of how, I mean, Carly, Carly used to live there. They had an apartment there. Her husband.
Yeah, and there was
living-
I will never forget the mass shooting that took place outside our old apartment in Chicago.
Have no fear, ladies, because these cities are going to be coming back. The safety that you once felt there, it will be returning. And it's all thanks to the King of New York, Donald Trump. He's helped New York City countless times in the past, and he's about to do it again. He put the perfect man in charge, Tom Homan. I cannot envision anyone else for that position. He's a very no-nonsense guy, and that's the type of person we need to get this job done right. But let me know your thoughts on this down below. Have any of you guys ever lived in a major US city? And do you still live there, or did you move out? And let me know the reason why, whether it was financial, whether it was security. I'd love to know that. And if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.